Wow, 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 wow. I have no idea. I actually never watched one of his things. What do you... Yeah, I think that's how most people look at without the A. Yes. Why don't you just follow me? Or you're not signed in. Ronnie, I do not want to hear myself in the back. I'm just gonna mute your stream. Oh my god. Why are you doing
Wait,
this?
are you?
Huh?
No one's watching. It's just me. Right? I don't even know how to see. Where's the followers?
Well, you followers or people live, because usually you said it right
Viewers.
next to the timestamp. It's supposed to have a number with like the people. I don't know. Maybe because no one's watching but you.
Twitch is trash.
Are you enjoying watching my stream of me watching your stream and whatnot? What the wait, no. What is that third monitor? Where is that third monitor?
Nope.
Oh my god.
There's no third monitor. Oh wait, no, that is Twitch. Uh, Pop this out. We don't need this. We need to make it look like I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's no. There's just two monitors.
Oh my god.
Don't fucking worry about it. I don't. My setup is my
I should
laptop
probably make it so they can hear
is
you. Okay, they can, yeah.
oh yeah, laptop is under main monitor, and then we have old Dell monitor to the right. This is all it is. Fuck it. All right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Where the fuck was I before?
You were talking about how
Am I
you
allowed
were
to?
gonna take me for a ride for how you plan things.
Oh, oh god. So, my ideas is point one release is everything I want to accomplish over the next 2 weeks or break, which is the MVP of this app, which is defined as like the bare minimum features to get something working. In theory, the temperature sensor project probably has enough to work off that.
Mhm.
Even. Um, so I'm just calling it the point one release. Here's the milestone. I redid everything. Due date. Get the fuck out of here. No due dates. Yes, due date. Boom. Look at that.
The 5th? Okay.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, I wish it was
Um,
Americanized, the dates.
this is the correct way to do it.
Okay, sure. I will always get that
Actually, no.
confused.
I prefer day, month, year, but whatever.
Ew! Why?
Because month, date, year is fucking stupid. I know I'm used to it because it's what we use here. It's dumb.
Okay. Next thing you're gonna tell me use the Celsius instead of Fahrenheit.
Moving on. Oh, you know, this is great about fucking GitLab. It uses Markdown instead of what Jira does.
What does Jira use? Jira doesn't Jira use Markdown?
Jira uses their own mutilated version of Markdown.
Okay. I know Trello
I
uses
would show you if it
Markdown,
wouldn't
at
get me
least.
fired. Yeah, it uses Trello and Trello and Jira are completely different. They're nothing like they're owned by the same company but completely different.
Really? I thought just one was the free version of the other.
Have you ever seen Jira?
Like for 10 seconds of what my friend showed me, but no, I didn't really take
It is
close.
completely different on a different scale. It's no fuck Jira. Anyways, a basic event handler is needed. Here I am GUI. I want the component system. Should be part of the ECS. I'm just calling it a component system.
Oh, I should have known what it was when you said component system, because that's literally what Unity calls it.
Yeah, and they're all easy. Entity component or
Hmm.
entity component service or system. Yeah, they're IO, read write, and some basic logging, and make file. Yeah, I don't know what we have. I won't do that. I'm fine. All right. I don't know. What else do you think would be necessary? Is like a bare minimum MVP.
For a game
Like
engine,
this gets us events like key presses.
air
This
handling.
is a GUI. It's very simple. Ooh. I even already have quotes about that. I've added like this needs to be error handling, but there is no error handling at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Component system handles like some scripting and creating new objects. This probably actually isn't necessary for an MVP. You can make a game without this.
Yeah, but it might
But
be helps to make to have it like at least some of it
yeah,
done.
this is like also the bare MVP, but also like the core foundation for the rest of the features, and so this is one of those that's needed. It also goes hand in hand. Threading is important. IO read write for file read writing. Basic logging, which we've already worked on today. In theory, this might just be done.
Oh, can you do me a favor? Can you hear yourself in
Uh,
Twitch and tell me if you're too loud?
yeah, I'm missing.
Probably should have did that first. Oh well.
I'm a little bit quieter than you, I think.
Okay, because for some reason it's telling me you're in the red. OBS is telling me you're in the red, but I was like,
Shut up! Damn it! I'm trying to listen. Oh, it's not bad.
okay,
It's not terrible.
I turned it up.
I am quieter than you, but okay. I thought it was like the delay. I could. It was like it's funny. It's not bad.
Okay, cool.
I
That's
sound
fine.
like shit because I hate the sound of my own voice.
You get used to it.
Oh, I can't. I hate the sound of my voice. I think my
Everyone
voice is
does.
obnoxious and grating.
Well, I get to hear it
And I
every
just
single day.
um error handling. What else?
I don't know.
I think right there that's
Hardware.
the core, right?
Well, I guess that's in event handling actually.
What kind of hardware?
Like mouse inputs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say mouse keyboard. Actually, I'll make them separate. So I imagine each of these are going to be issues that we'll make right now. I don't think we need to go more granular than that. I think mouse keyboard's fair. Like, and again, some of these we might have just already done, which is fine. SDL takes care of it for us, and then later can be redone. I don't want to support micros at this point, but I want to make sure we don't do anything that makes it impossible to add that later. Which really the only thing you have to worry about, right, is anytime you do anything that's like hardware specific, like the see out stuff, make sure we keep that in like we're gonna wrap it, make sure it's like defined as a desktop platform, right? Try to avoid floats when we don't need them. But actually, avoiding floats is just a general recommendation.
Yeah, because floating point errors, yeah. Or precision errors, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and that's really it. Yeah, the precision errors, and all, just like on a lot of systems, they're not accelerated, so they're really slow, and they use way more memory. They do make sense to use sometimes, but besides that, actually, that's really it. Like, something we'd make for a micro would be very different something we'd run on a desktop. So I'm not worried about too much of that. As long as the core engine doesn't preclude it or make things bad, it's fine. Though it would be really cool, and my long-term goal is to have it so that you could just have a game, right? And if you have the right libraries and stuff set up for micro, you could just compile it for Windows and a microcontroller, which doesn't sound all that if until you think about like you could make your own gamepad at that point. Like I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Milestone created. Let's go. Yeah,
Try it free.
already. I don't even think it's that expensive, and like if it takes me longer to get this set up, I might have to pay for it for storage purposes. But we have like 10 gigs, so I'm not too worried at the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you're there. Gotta make some issues. So can I make them right in here?
Do you want to prioritize this list in any way?
Nah. I think there's clearly an order of operations. So like if we want to edit, so like it supports this, doesn't it?
Can you not preview before saving?
Yeah, it does. Markdown. There is a
Oh,
way.
wait, top left, top left.
Oh, preview.
Okay.
Yeah, I found it. So there's probably a, but actually now I think about it, I don't know if it's something that I. Do I need to do that in here?
Oh, you make a UML diagram?
Probably not. Also, there's also a wiki. That's a yeah. No, I'll do that in the code base instead of in here. Yeah, you could do that right in these. So you could design your entire thing and all the notes right in the TR.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, we call their TRs in Jira.
Ticket requests?
Another reason I like GitLab and stuff. I have no idea, but maybe, but their TRs, their issues. I don't know. Work has ruined me. Where's the? All right, Ed. You have one feature that I have enjoyed. There it is. Let's go to issues. Go 20. Oh. So milestone 0.1. So I'm just gonna write these all up as So a basic event handler, you know. How do you like handling events?
I guess usually the way that like Unity uses it, like you give it an event, it you give certain like things of event where you or a delicate rather if we're to give it like C#. I guess I don't understand the question fully.
All
Like
right.
how
So
do
I guess
we?
we're basically gonna be able to design our own event handler.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I don't think I've ever done that before.
I'm used to events from the embedded. All right, time to learn. I've also never made my own. I just know like what I'm used to, which is interrupts and like an event. So what that means is I'd call a function, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would either give it an object or a function pointer. Which do you know what a function pointer is?
I assume a pointer that points to a function.
Points to a function, yeah. You can only do that if the function is static or if it's a C function, because all C functions are static.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So you can't do that with like a member function because it needs an object.
Yeah.
You can, however, make a static function that takes in a reference to the class and then does weird shit like that.
Yeah.
That's not the cleanest solution, but yeah, that's how some things are. I'm used to that where I tell it I want you to call this. So I would be like, here's an example. So this is hardware. It'd be like when you receive an interrupt from this pin or this port pin bullshit. Don't worry about that. I mean, it's just a wire that goes into your CPU, and when that wire goes like to 5 volts, goes high, you're gonna call this function, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it does. That's what I'm used to. So that's how I'm used to like scheduling events. So basically, your code would be like, I want this function to be called during this event. For us, we'd probably do something like after X amount of time, you're gonna call this function, right? Or one of the ones I was interested in, and I was talking about this last night, is the idea that you could register a Boolean value, right?
Mm-hmm.
That when this Boolean value goes from false to true or true to false, you're going to call a function or update me. So your thing wouldn't sit there and keep checking this Boolean. It would give out the Boolean, and then another piece of code would edit this Boolean, right? Um, this could be used for GUI elements. Though for GUI elements, it probably wouldn't. You would probably just, when the button is pushed, execute this thing. Um, but you could have a system that's not doing anything, not being updated regularly until a Boolean is true. But essentially, that's outside the scope of our basic event handler. That's actually probably more of the entity component system. This would be. So I kind of went off track. Kind of all over the place today. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
The event handler is told an event and then a function to call. That's really all it needs to do. So given event to signal on, and then a function or object, we could decide that
Why
to
not
call
both?
when. Well, exactly. So we could have an option of either. Be like, we can tell it to call a static function, or we could create like so can use like static like function pointer, which is the C way of doing it,
Mm-hmm.
or can have an event object. So this would, if I do this. Okay, no, that's not what I want. That's whatever. So we could have something like this keyboard. So class, no. Abstract class event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have class time event. No. This wouldn't be that. This would be class fuck
Like when a button is clicked,
my
key press,
my class.
click. Okay.
So we'll get to that in a sec. Oh, that's a good point. Now there's different types of events. That's how it is. Give that a second. Class. All right, this would be an object. So object event handler. So my class inherits. My class inheritance is this event. No, it's wrong way. Like that.
Okay, I was about to say.
Uh,
I was very confused for a second.
yeah. So my class is. Oh, I hate that. Thank you. So my class is a child of event, which might seem a little odd. Oh, here's the thing, by the way. C++ doesn't have event is not a parent class. Event is a interface.
Even when it's abstract, or does it not know the difference?
C++ does not have it does not have a thing called interface.
What? I thought you said it was an
There's no such
interface.
thing as There is no such thing as an interface. I'm calling it interface because it's probably what you're used to for C# and Java.
Okay.
Um, C++ has multiple inheritance.
Oh. Diamond problem.
Yeah.
Hang on, my headphones just fucking died. I can still hear you though, but I just won't talk to not give you an echo. Just give me a moment. I gotta turn it off. Luckily, that did not get caught. Give me one moment. Oh my god. Wait, I don't think they can hear you now. Oh my god, there's. I'm just gonna turn that off entirely right now. I hear it, yes, when I join. Yes. And since it's caught on Discord, it presumably they would hear it as well. Well, I'm planning to put this on YouTube, so I'm not editing anything. I don't think it got caught because um I don't know, I'm having weird issues right now. Yes. Okay, so wait, can you go to the stream and then just talk to yourself and then tell me if you can hear yourself? Yes, what you should be able to hear. You should be able to now.
Uh,
Yeah, that got picked up.
yeah, okay, it's working.
Okay, well, great. Now we can continue. So you were saying that interfaces do not exist in C++.
Yeah, so like we can make the idea, but there is no like interface. Everything is a class, right?
Okay, so theoretically you can make an event, even if you call it abstract in C++.
Yeah. So well, we're gonna treat. I'm saying there's no such thing as an interface, but like you can still treat things like an interface.
Okay,
We're
although
gonna treat an event like an interface.
abstract, but it's not in it. But okay,
It's not. There's no interface. I don't want to apply interface to it, so we'll apply abstract to it.
oh, okay. So I was gonna ask, like, does abstract exist?
So abstract also like abstract is closer to existing.
Okay.
Um, there is no when you can't declare an abstract class, but you don't have. But you saw the virtual keyword we used
Yes.
earlier.
Yes.
When you use the virtual keyword, suddenly the class is now a virtual class,
Mm-hmm.
which is the same which is the same idea as an abstract class.
Okay. Yeah.
It can't exist on its own, but it declares that things exist.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a couple different ways to do this. Like, so here's one option I've done. I've done something very similar to this before. So we have an object event handler. My class is inheriting or implementing, if we want to do that, implementing event, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since it's not C++, we're not going to do the implement. We're going to say it inherits because it is. Um, the event handler will like contain. Okay, I was very wrong about how this works. So it's this, that. My class to bring this up. So event handler will have a bunch of these like my classes as like an event.
Bunch of events. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll have a bunch of events. And my class could be literally anything. It'll just have a bunch of events. An event would have a function like I've been using signal, so we'll just call it like void signal. Signal, come on there. Yeah, and this would be public. And so you like public signal, right? So we would this would be abstract.
You can have abstract methods. Oh, wait, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, okay, I
Yeah.
remember.
So remember that's how this is work. So like we're saying that this is an abstract, and then my class who inherits is going to
declare
actually
and
have the
define.
void signal. Yeah, define
Yeah.
what it is. So,
Can we make it the name
so
different from my class? Um,
Yeah. What do you want?
I don't know, something like that was more that's more relevant to the UML. Like I get it's supposed to be like a generic name. Um, make it like a key down event, I guess.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily. So we're not. This is method way of doing it is different. So there's two different ways to do this. This is not like the event is all we're gonna have. Event will actually probably have like an enum in it of like the different types of events.
Uh huh.
Um, and my class is an actual class. Like here, fine. Uh, this could be like start menu class, and it's registered an event, which would be I don't know startup could be the event.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so this is a bit different than probably what you were thinking, which I'll also do in a second. So I'm gonna leave it back as my class for the time being. So
Okay.
here's like one method. Um, by the way, the process for this is my class will register itself with event handler, and the event handler has a list of events, and we'll call them based on the event when it's registered.
Okay.
Right. So the if we want to if we want to uh, all right. So if we want to sequence diagram this, you'd have like my class would call event handler, and it'd be the register this um, register this and the event, and you'd have like event type.
0, I guess.
Uh,
I see what you're saying is an
what's it?
enum.
Yeah, this would be enum. So an example event type could be fuck. I don't know. I'm starting to realize the issues with this design because a lot of the event types need like a parameter, but I'll show you how that's handled in this case, which is disgusting. Um, but we have event type like key down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a key down. So we're saying here's an event type key down, um, and then we could be like, so it'd be like key, which is also an enum, like key a, except now you have to do this.
Was that referencing it?
No. This is where things get disgusting. So now we have a void pointer because you have a register. You have a register which takes in a void star, event type, and then another void star. So here's what's happening here. You
Oh
have a
wait,
register function,
you were talking about void
right?
pointers before. I remember.
Oh, this actually doesn't need to be a void pointer. This it takes an event.
Mm-hmm.
Um, event instance is what it would be. It takes an event, which is because this implements it. So this does not need to be a void star. It could be though. But anyways, so this take register event. I was talking about the void star. The void star can be literally anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in this function, we take in the event instance, the event type, which is an enum that's part of either event or event handler, and then it knows how to deal with that particular event type.
Mm-hmm.
This is the C way of doing things, right? So the C way. And then the void star is because some event types need like the key down, right? So we need to know which key, and we have to tell it which key.
Oh,
So
it's
we
just
pass in.
arguments. Okay.
It's just an argument, but we don't know what the argument is.
Yes.
It's like you could also write this. You probably seen this syntax, the dot dot dot.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. It's not quite the same thing, but it's a similar idea. We're using it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
C++ does have something like that, but I actually kind of like the void star. Problem with the void star, it's very dangerous. This will cause issues, so we might actually want to avoid this design or find a better way to do this. But anyways, back to the we'd register. Um, the event handler would then go my class dot signal, or call my class, and it'd call the signal function because got event. So we'll get preview. So my class registers this, which is itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you on the event key down of key A. and the event handler will be like, okay, all right, well I fucked this up. Oh, hander. I'll be like, okay, and then when it gets that, it'll signal back, I got event, and then my class will do its thing.
Okay.
Um,
So my class set registers like on when it's like presumably right when it's initialized, right? Right. Or at least right
it is
afterwards.
constructor, or it can do it whenever, because in this method, right,
Mm-hmm.
um, it could have multiple registers. It can register itself many times to the event handler. It can register many different events.
Mm-hmm.
It can also deregister and be like, I'm done with this event. Um,
Will
that is
we
a little
need that?
harder though. What?
Will we need
Well,
that?
yeah, maybe it doesn't want to be called anymore after a certain point. I could deregister.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, uh, like if I got a key, like if I got like let's hypothetically I registered two events, right? A key down and a key up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep accepting key down until I get the key up.
Oh yeah.
So potentially, when I do a key down, I deregister key down temporarily. Because here's the thing: we can't in this signal function. Signal function actually has to be asynchronous. You can't hold on to the signal function and lock up the rest of your system just because you're processing something.
Yeah. Because you're gonna
So
have to
that's
process
another
multiple things. Yeah.
right. So that's something else we'll have to deal with. But this is just one way of doing it. This is like closer to the maybe like a C way, or in my mind, what I do. This is what we do with embedded with interrupts. We don't have interrupts, so um, I think closer to what you were thinking is with the different event types that inherit from event. Um, so let's look at that. So maybe the more C++ way to do it. I wonder if I should do this in the VS Code docs section. Probably. So, you'd have our abstract class, right? Event, and then you would have, a class key down event, right? Class key up event. We just key event as an option, but class I don't know what's another event maybe time event.
Time ticked.
Time ticked, like that time ticked. So there's like some examples, right?
Yeah.
So key down event, inherits from event key up. Right. So and then we still need our object event handler. And then we have what object my class. So now how would my class register an event, right?
In a more C++ way.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
really the more object oriented way. So
are you asking me or?
yeah,
I guess I'm gonna try to put it. So if we had an event, are we still making? Are we? Oh yeah, you already have it abstract. So, um, you could just use polymorphism where event has the signal method you were talking about, and so would the other like class events.
yeah.
They would register their. They would each of the classes would then do something different based on what they are in said signal method. At least that's how I would think of it.
Yeah. The void signal, right?
Mm-hmm.
These will implement signal and however that works, right? And whatever signal does.
Right.
Or no, I'm sorry. No, they wouldn't implement signal, right?
What does signal do then? I may be
A
misunderstanding.
signal is like when the event happens. So my
Oh,
class still needs to have signal, right?
yes.
Of some sort. So Um, void signal. What is it necessary? There's other ways to do it, right? So you have to have some sort of void signal, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, these classes would implement like
Do something, a handle event, something like that.
not something like what the event like is. How do you find the event? So you'd have I'm trying to think of how to do this. You'd have like hypothetically abstract like check event, right?
Check if the event is true, or is that
Check if an
signal?
event check if an
Okay.
event has happened. Right? At some point we
Yeah.
have to check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a keyboard event might not do that because a keyboard event might actually have a way with your system to know if a key's been pressed.
Right.
Um, so say like call it like for a check event. But like let's look at time event instead because time event I think is the easier one. So time event would have um, a check event, and so every time it calls check event, it has like a number, right? Like I'm going to after this much time has elapsed, I will call signal.
Yes.
Um, so I guess
Well, wouldn't check event more be a bool than a void?
it probably would be a bool. You're right. Like event is now true. Like something has happened. This might be easier understood with the sequence. So let's look at the sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So my class, right? It does the same thing. I think event handler, it's register, but the register is a bit different. So it's going to register an event. So let's say time ticked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time ticked event. This would be like an object. And how do we get this to come back to us?
With register specifically, or
Well, does register so register and this is still I guess my way of doing this is a bit different than like the Unity like coroutine where I think when you start it up it'll wait there until the thing calls or like a lambda expression.
mm-hmm.
Um I don't know if I want us to use lambdas. I don't like lambdas. And I
Really
get them.
why?
They're kind of they're kind of a pain in the ass to use. Um
How so?
I just think they're confusing. I get
Okay.
what they're essentially you've just made an inline function. Actually, that's what you've done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um, so I don't like it as much. I will use like Giram GUI uses them. Um, so maybe we could use them. But hypothetically, you register an object. You register this event object, right? So before that, my class uh will make like time ticked event. This is the constructor. So it's gonna make this event object, right?
Yeah.
The constructor could take in like num ticks, right? So that's how many ticks it's gonna wait. Uh, and then that event doesn't do anything until you register it with the event handler.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the event handler is you can think of as a component that gets called every frame update, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's responsible for being like, hey, what events are ready to go? Um, my class event handler register. So this is when you tell it to start ticking. So you give it the object, and then you need a callback. Oh God,
And why not do a
I
void
feel like
function, or rather a function pointer there, if you need a
so,
callback?
so if we need a function pointer, if we want to do a function pointer, then we need a static function. We got to give it a static function. It is a way to do things. I think it's just a little messy.
Mm-hmm. Well, couldn't that be
Uh,
inside the event itself?
oh, that's a good point. You have in the constructor, you give it a function pointer.
Yeah,
Well, you
that
need to
makes.
do more than give it a function pointer. You have to give it a function pointer, and you have to give it a reference to the object, because otherwise, it's not useful.
I thought the what object are you referring to?
So, um, uh, hold on. Where, 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 where? Hello. Where's um? I'm looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for my pen so I can draw this out. I don't know where I put it. Trevor, I don't know where my pen is.
I ate it. I'm sorry.
What the? Why? Why would you do that?
I got hungry.
Tofu, what the fuck? Um, where is I know I saw it the other day because I was annoyed because I was like, I don't know where you put this without
Did
losing it, and then
did
I
did
put it
Nova
somewhere and
steal
then
it?
immediately. Uh, it's always It's always a possibility. Where did I put this silly pen? Where did you go? What magnetic thing did I attach it to and then forget that I put it there? Which happens more often than one would think. Not over here. Not in my bag. Cat. Unless it is in my bag. Not. No, shit. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
You could always get a pen and paper, or do paint with the mouse. Like the good
I
old
can't do that.
days.
I don't know how people do that. I can't draw with that. Um, is it attached to the? No. Where the shit dick did I put this stupid thing? Best stream ever. I spend all my time looking for a fucking. Oh, there it is. Found it.
Yep. Oh god, that's bright.
So, um, so we have my class, right?
Yep.
Which is an object. So, it's not. Fine, we'll call it my object. Right. So this is an instance of a class, right?
Yes. Of
Um,
a of
so
a of event, right?
we haven't decided that yet.
Okay.
It wants to register an event. It wants to do something, right? So we have, we have a time ticked, right? Which was an event.
Mm.
Uh, my object will. That's actually the wrong way. I believe it's like, yeah, it's like this or something. My object contains like a time ticked event.
Multiple
Right.
or just one?
It could be at 1 to n. So this is
Okay.
like 1 to n. So it could have however many events, right?
Mm-hmm.
An object can have however many events it fucking wants. And then the event handler, which needs to also know how many events it has. Actually, the more I think about this, the more I'm like, maybe this shouldn't be like that. I don't think that syntax is the right way. Give me a second.
I don't remember UML diagrams.
I'm just looking up the. Oh, I unplugged my keyboard. Why would I do such an awful thing?
You tell me.
I remember why. The cat was
Oh, I should probably make it so I'm in streamer mode again.
UML. This. uh, email diagram. This is not the page that I have seen before. What is this? I hate everything. I hate everything. Composition versus aggregation. I know what the difference is, but what's the direction of the arrows? Okay, fuck you. Whatever. I guess it's like this. I feel like that's not true. Anyways, event handler contains or is composed of a bunch of events, right?
Yes.
So actually, in theory, this arrow should be like. How do I do this? A person contain.
I think you have multiple, like the diamonds where event is. Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, because the example that I'm given is like you have person, right,
Mm-hmm.
and then leg,
Okay.
and then it's like this.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, person
Wait.
is
One person
is
has.
composed of legs, according to this diagram.
Okay.
A person is just made of legs.
That does. Sure. Yeah. And then can you please put the N and 1 at the bottom so I don't confuse myself? Thank you.
But obviously, it could be time ticked events.
Yes.
What time is there? I gotta go. Oh, soon. Okay. Finish this up. So the event handler, right? And the more thing is more like so this contains the different events, and then it'll have like a list internally, right? Here's all the lists events I need to check, right? And
Mm-hmm.
probably also how often. But the event handler to us really should be a black box. Like
Mm-hmm.
we'll figure out how it works, like because we're making it. But it's up to us how it does what it does and what it does what it does. All we care about is that when we register an event, that event gets called when it's ready. So maybe my object has nothing to do with time ticked at all.
What were you thinking? Like, can you give an example? Of what were you think? On which like where my object.
Well, here's what I'm thinking now, right? Right. So my object, we'll talk to event handler, right? Which has an instance of or event handler is static, and we only have one. Haven't figured that out yet. Doesn't matter. All right. And it's gonna be register, but it's not just a register like register like just a plain old command. We'd be like, we could say register time event, right?
Hmm.
The different we make register event handler just has a bunch of different functions for all the different events. No, but then every time you add a new event,
That means you
like a
need
new
to
type
add
of
a
event,
new register. You need
a
a new
new a
method.
new menu function shit. But that's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Well, if that's the case, why not have the register event in the event itself? A register function in the event itself, and then pass it in when you need to call register.
What do you mean?
Like, so scroll up a little to the UML. why not have where event is at the top, have that contain a method called register, and then time ticked would override that method or function to implement specifically register time event, and then event handler would take in that register function. I may be misunderstanding, but that's what it sounds like the most clean way.
Maybe I'm not following that. I mean, maybe So the thing that we have to figure out, right, is that when my object calls register, however the fuck register works, right,
Yeah.
that event handler has a way to signal this object that it's been called, right,
Mm-hmm.
and um, that's a lot easier said than done because my object isn't gonna sit here, right, and wait for this register to return, being like your event has to happen. That's not how this works, right? Register
Mm-hmm.
is a void, and register returns when it registers the event, and then my object continues on to maybe register a bunch of different events.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's gonna want to register its events at like different things. So the more I think about it, the more I'm like maybe it does want to use a function pointer. Because like, hypothetically, right, let's like character movement, right? You'd have an event registered for like WASD.
Yeah.
And each event, when it's called, would increment the player's position in that said direction.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you'd have a function for each of those. Um, so this is what we call a callback like pattern. So we can just do a callback. So when you do register, oh fuck, how do you do
Well,
this?
instead of saying my object, can we make it a little bit more specific and let's say WASTA or player controls or something like that?
Yeah, let's do player control. All right. So it's gonna do a key down event. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so PC, we call event handler register like key down. We haven't decided how that's gonna work, but um, how would you want this? So it's like at the constructor of the player control.
It would need to register through our four key downs, presumably one for each direction, right?
Yeah, and let's not even do key down. Let's just call it key event so that it could be up or down.
Okay.
Um, so register key event, and then you're gonna give it the four keys. Um,
And then you said you want PC to have a callback function, or do you want register key event to have the callback function?
event handler somehow, whether it's the key event or needs to call back to player control that its event that it registered has happened.
Okay.
Um, it needs to be done in a way that's like the same for basically all the events, or that's customizable. So,
Or yeah,
um,
like overloaded methods or functions.
yeah, because we don't want to like recreate the wheel every time we added a brand new event. We all kind of want them to work vaguely the same way.
Right.
Sort of. They don't have to work the same way, but like vaguely, kind of like similar. Um, fuck, I gotta. So PC register event. I've made an event. I want you to call me when you're ready. Um, brain think. I'm not sure.
Hmm. Well, you did say before you wanted like maybe just like the function to have an instance of the of the object. In this case, PC.
Yeah, but I don't know if it actually makes sense for it to like care, right?
Well, how is it? How would you call it
Like
back to
the
the?
the event. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. But like even if PC had an instance of it, how would PC receive the event?
You know, what happens if it has like a method, like a public method called like receive event or something, or
Yeah,
event
but then so
happen?
if we have a public method or a static method receive event, right?
Yeah.
Like so you need so like an instance of PC, right? The PC object instance needs to be passed over to event handler in order for event handler to directly call any method that's involved with PC,
Yes.
right? But we have other objects that are going to be using the event handler that aren't player control, right? And unless they all inherit from the same base structure that
Oh,
has
I
just a
see.
function that it can call back to, right?
Yeah.
But when you commit to that, you limit yourself. So it's like, in Java they get around this by having this thing called object. Everything in Java inherits from object.
Everything's an object. Yeah.
Everything's an object, and because of that, you can like do this like some weird shit.
Like dot
Um,
equals and things like that.
yeah, we don't want that. Really, really don't want that. That's very discouraged in C++. But that's how you get diamond inheritance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So no object. The way to do this is the callbacks, but I honestly forget how to like set up a callback pattern and bullshit like that.
Why don't we use
Um,
Google?
could or we figure it out. You just keep writing it out and thinking about it. This is what I do. This is what I did for like a month when I was actually like doing development. It was fucking amazing. I spent like half my time just designing shit, and then realizing it doesn't work, and then trying again.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how you do it. Yeah.
how did we do that for that? We used function pointers and static functions. I don't know if I really liked that structure that much. I mean, it worked. Um, how do callbacks work? How the fuck does a callback work? Tim was talking about this. Why is software development so hard? Cover, are you dead yet?
Unfortunately, not.
Mm.
I'm thinking, but I don't. Maybe I just don't fully comprehend it. Maybe because I'm still an OOP brain. It's rather difficult to think like how we could solve this.
It'll come to us. It'll come to us. Um, but I do actually have to go though,
Okay,
which is unfortunate. It means we accomplished very little, but that's not true.
that's not true.
We started working on things actually,
Mm-hmm.
which is huge. Yeah, these are the things that we kind of got to like solve. So, uh, I don't know. We'll think about it some more. If you have ideas, I guess just chuck it in there, right?
Yeah, I'll probably DM you. When do you want to talk about this next? Because if we do not plan it, I know it's probably not gonna happen.
I was gonna work on this tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll be working
I'm
on this pretty much every single day.
okay. I am pretty much free every single day.
So if,
Uh,
if we want to meet sometime tomorrow to like talk about this, yeah.
do you want to give me a time? Because otherwise, I will wake up at 12 and then not get up until like an hour later.
Do you want to like be waking up at a reasonable time?
Preferably, as I do not want
Uh,
to sleep my life away and stay up
We can
until
say 10
4
again.
a.m. Um,
Say-
do we want to say 10?
You could say 10. I will be up working by then.
Okay. Tomorrow's Saturday. If I get up at 9, that should be doable.
There you go.
Alright, I'm gonna fucking blare my alarm tomorrow.
You go to bed at a reasonable time.
Well, that's the issue. It's like a self fulfilling cycle where if I don't go to bed at a reasonable time, I will be more awake, and so I'm not tired. I'll stay up until I am getting tired, which is around 4. But then since I slept so late, I'll get up later in the day. You know.
Yeah, no, I get you. It's tough, or you just kill yourself and stay up all night and reset your sleep schedule. My friend
Yeah.
Maya does that all the time.
Or just sleep the entire day until it gets offset, or just keep going until it offsets itself back to what it originally was. I've done it before.
Yeah.
It's very very fun. Damn
Uh,
it, my other thing got canceled, but that means I'll be free to do something else for today.
oh, there you go.
Okay.
I don't know. If you want something to play with, you could create a branch on this and then play with I am GUI.
I think I have enough practice. If I need to look at something with I'm GUI, I'll probably look at what I did for my computer graphics class.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. If you want something where that's like close to this on I am GUI, then I would do that because that's a pretty big one for this. But yeah, you don't have to do it inside here.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just the demo app. If any, so like in the while loop is all like your I am GUI stuff at the moment.
I didn't push.
Oh, you should do that.
I did. I committed, but I didn't push. Good thing
Oh,
I
you should make
checked.
sure you push.
Oh my god.
How long does it take to drive here? An hour and a half.
Well, yeah, you're going to that far away. Of course, it's gonna take that long.
Jesus.
What did you expect?
Oh, oh, there's a fucking accident too. That doesn't help.
And it's snowing.
Yeah, the weather is actually kind of concerning.
Is it supposed to get worse? When's
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly wouldn't go, but I'm not